Hi, my name is Corey. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 of Learning English Through the Basics. What do I mean by that? Today, we will be tackling parts of speech. We have 8 parts of speech, but we will only be tackling it bit by bit. This will not be a formal setting at all. Take it as two people having a conversation with each other or exchanging information. I tell you what I know, you tell me what you know. That is how we shall conduct this basic English lessons, so to speak. But it's from a friend to another friend. Now, before you can be good in constructing a sentence or holding a conversation or a dialogue, there are certain things you need to know. Like what? Your nouns, your pronouns, your verbs, your adverbs, and your adjectives. That will help you in constructing a good sentence. That will assist in holding a conversation, because all of these things come together as one when you are constructing or when you are having a conversation. Now, we will start with our nouns. What are nouns? Nouns are our naming words, names of everyday, ordinary things. What do I mean by that? A car, a pencil, a chair, a roof, a school. Now, those are words we use in our everyday lives. Those are things we see in our everyday lives. That is what we refer to as nouns. Now, we will move on to pronouns. What are pronouns? Pronouns take the place of a noun, or they replace a noun. An example for that is, I am Corey. Corey goes to school every day. Corey walks her dog every day afternoon around 3. Corey plays with her friends on Saturday. Now you see what that is. That is repetition. Pronouns help us not to repeat. What do I mean by that? Again, we are trying to decode pronouns. Now, since we said pronouns replace or take the place of a noun, it means wherever there is the name Corey, because Corey is our noun, we now replace Corey with a pronoun. A typical example: she goes to school every day. Corey walks her dog every day around 3 p.m. You see, now there is no repetition between the two sentences. Corey, Carson, and Cole went to the shop. That is a bit tiresome. You can replace that and say they went to the shop. That is the duty of a pronoun. That's what a pronoun does. It makes your work, it makes how you speak, it makes how you construct look very smart and very short. You do not say things unnecessarily. Now we will move to what we call verbs. What are verbs? Verbs are action words or doing words. Let's give examples. Speak, eat, walk, write. Those are action words. You are doing something, which is why we are saying they are doing words or action words, because when you write, it is an action. When you speak, it is an action. When you run, it's an action. You are doing, you are in motion. Those are verbs. Now, moving on to something now that assists the verb, we will talk about adverbs. What are adverbs? Adverbs modify or tell us more about the verb. What do I mean? When you write, how do you write? You write neatly. Now, the word neatly tells us more about the verb. The verb being what? Write. When you write, it is an action. The neatly now explains the action, being what? You are writing very neatly. When you speak, how do you speak? You speak politely. Politely explains or tells us more about how you speak. Speaking is an action word. When you speak, you are doing something. That is an action. That is a doing word. Politely is our adverb because it explains how you speak. You are now running. How do you run? You run very fast. Fast explains the action that you are doing. Being what? Being running. You run very fast. You eat. How do you eat? You eat very quickly. You're probably hungry. I don't know. But you eat very quickly. Quickly now tells us that you are eating and you are eating very quickly. That is an adverb. It gives us more information about what you are doing. And what you are doing at the moment is eating, being an action word. That is our verb. Now, we will move on to what we call adjectives. What are adjectives? Adjectives give us more information about our nouns. Remember what our nouns were. We said book is a noun. We said girl is a noun. We said pencil is a noun. We said a chair is a noun. Those are things that we use on our everyday basis. Ordinary everyday things, right? Those are nouns. Keep in mind what we spoke about. Now, adjectives will explain about our nouns. How is your pencil? Your pencil is what? Sharp. How is the girl? The girl is kind. The girl is polite. The girl is tall. Book. How is the book? The book is thick. Book is your noun, remember. Now, the thick explains the book that you have. How is your book? Your book is thick. Orange. How is the orange? It's juicy. It's sweet. Juicy and sweet explain the orange that you have in hand. Orange is your noun. Nouns are everyday, ordinary things. Keep in mind, one help the other. The adjectives help us know more about our nouns. Now, that will be the end of our lesson for today. Please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe for keeping up with the next episode. In the next episode, we will be discussing more about nouns. We will be getting in depth about nouns because they don't just end with them being ordinary everyday things. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode.